Welcome to another edition of the Keto Journey. I'm your host Jermaine, and today I'm going to do a top 10 list of things that you should have in your kitchen if you are on a keto diet. Now, the reason I decided to do this list is I had a friend who was raving about these keto-friendly pancakes, and he went ahead and sent me over the recipe, and he just assumed that I had all this stuff in my kitchen, which I did. But the funny thing is, if I wasn't on keto, I wouldn't have any of that stuff probably, except for cream cheese. I might have had cream cheese, but that got me thinking, what else do I have in the kitchen that only exists because I'm on the keto diet? Now, I'm not going to go into things that I personally need for me to succeed for this diet. Like, I'm not going to say bacon, that's a given. I'm not going to say ground beef or ground turkey or whatever your choice of protein is. Those are obvious. I'm not going to get into that with this list. This is more some things you might not have thought that you need or you might need depending on the recipe, depending on what you're trying to accomplish in the kitchen. So here's my top 10 of things that you need in the kitchen while on keto. Number 10 is kind of a cop-out because I told myself that I needed 10 items and I only came up with 9. So number 10, last one on the list, is measuring cups and measuring spoons. You're going to be doing a lot of measuring for a lot of recipes, so you might as well have the utensils to do it. Now, I know what you're thinking. I'm a grown-up. I have these utensils. Well, some people don't, and that's why it's on the list, mostly because I needed 10 items. Number 9 is a new entry onto my personal list because at the beginning of my keto journey, I didn't touch this stuff, but recently, within the last month or two, it's been a part of my daily routine. And number 9 is MCT oil. Now, you can mix MCT oil into your coffee, to your protein shakes. All I use it for is my coffee. It gives me a nice burst of energy in the morning. It gets my macros started right. It's a nice dose of fat. And that's number 9 on the list. Number 8 on the list is a sugar substitute. Have that be Truvia or Swerve. You're going to need a sugar substitute for different recipes because you're still going to want cookies. You're still going to want pecan pie. And rather than using the pure granulated white sugar that you're usually accustomed to, you're going to need something that is keto friendly but still works well in any baking dish that you might be preparing. So a sugar substitute is number 8. Number 7 on my list of things you need in the kitchen would be coconut oil. Coconut oil is one of those items that I know for a fact wouldn't be in the house if I wasn't on keto. But surprisingly, we use it a lot. Gracie uses it for desserts, and it's a staple in our house. When we're out, that's one of the things that we are constantly searching for. So coconut oil is number 7. Number 6 is kind of a cop-out. You don't necessarily need to be on keto for this to be an item in your house, but I put it on here anyways because first and foremost, water is key to flush out any toxins, to keep your hunger down. Water is something you should constantly be drinking on this diet. That's why number 6 is a substitute for water. Something other than water, because the first 3 months, that's pretty much all I was drinking was water. Come 4 months in, I was tired of water. I had to find something else. So my choice for the substitute of water is usually Mayo or a Powerade Zero. You need something to switch it up a bit aside from drinking water all the time. Water's great. I love water, but sometimes you need something different. By the way, everything that I'm mentioning in this video, I will be putting links below. So if you're lazy like me and don't like to look up stuff, you can just click away, go to Amazon or wherever I link to, and you can actually see the stuff that I'm talking about. And that way you can have a better idea of what you need to look for in the store. Number 5 on my top 10 list would be mayonnaise, specifically Duke's mayonnaise. Now, we eat a lot of hamburgers here in our household. A lot of dishes that would be nicely accompanied with ketchup or mustard or mayo. Back in the day, we used to get Kraft mayo, but Gracie, when she first started, switched over to Duke's mayo because it's a little better to help us get to our macros. It tastes better, and that's what we get from now on. Duke's mayo. You can find it probably at your local grocery store. I know for a fact it's on Amazon. That's our last resort if we can't find it anywhere. But it's great. and it's our number 5 on this list. I mentioned it earlier, but number 4 is cream cheese. Before keto, I didn't really deal with cream cheese. Occasionally I would have it with a bagel at work, but using cream cheese at home wasn't really something I did. Now that I'm on keto, I use cream cheese at least once a week, but probably more than that. We can use it in various desserts. You can use it to make pancakes, which are amazing. You can use it to make Alfredo sauce, which, if you've done right, is keto friendly. So cream cheese is number 4. Has to be in the house, has to be in our refrigerator. That's why it's on our list. Number is another item that, again, if I wasn't on keto, it wouldn't be the specific brand, the specific item, and that would be Kerrygold Butter. If you're on keto, you more than likely have heard of Kerrygold Butter. It's a staple in our house now. Back in the day, I wouldn't really pick or choose by brand what kind of butter I got. I usually got margarine, which is horrible for you, by the way. But Kerrygold Butter goes into pretty much every dish we cook in this house. Number 2 is definitely something, without a doubt, would not be in the house unless we were on this keto diet, or this keto way of eating, and that would be almond flour. I can't tell you how often, A, I use almond flour, B, I didn't know almond flour existed before I started this diet, but almond flour goes in a lot of our recipes. We use it constantly. There's a big bag of it in our pantry. That's why it's number 2 on this list. This is a list of things that once you're on keto that you're actually going to use, and without keto, I don't think, well, now I would use it, but beforehand I didn't even know what almond flour was. So definitely that's on the list. And my number 1 item that needs to be in the kitchen when you're on a keto diet is a food scale. Now, I know what you're thinking. Number 10 was measuring cups and measuring spoons, and number 1 is a food scale. Now, most people have measuring cups and measuring spoons in their house, but most people do not have food scales to measure exactly how much food you put in your body. I didn't use it as much as I do now. I still use it, even though I'm months deep into the way of eating. I constantly am using our food scale. It's probably the number 1 item I use in the kitchen, other than a spoon or a fork or a plate. Food scale. Make sure you know exactly what you're putting in your body, get exact measurements, so you can actually track that stuff in MyFitnessPal, and so you can actually see results. So that's it. That's my top 10. Like I said, I'll link everything in the description below. I'll try to link to the food scale that we use, but I'm pretty much any food scale would be great as long as it counts out grams or ounces. You're good to go. All right, now that we got that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into the exciting part of the video, the part where I talk about my weight and how much I've either lost or gained. And then we're gonna wrap it up, call it a day. Wish you guys a good day, a good night, whenever you decide to watch these videos. And without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the numbers. So last week I weighed in at 237.7 pounds. That was our starting weight, and that's where I'm at. Currently, I am weighing in at 236.3 pounds, which is 3.3 pounds away from my goal weight and a loss of 1.4 pounds. I don't know how I did it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I believe it was last Sunday. I had a hankering for nachos. The worst nachos that you can even think of. Nachos from Moe's. That was filled with chips and queso and other stuff that you probably shouldn't eat. But I broke down. I had it. It was delicious. Gave me a stomach ache. Don't want to do it again. But that's what I ate. And I'm surprised I lost any weight at all. Now, that kind of doesn't help my case with like, well, if I can eat that and still lose weight, then maybe I'm not even going to think like that. I'm not going to allow myself to think like that, because that's a train that I'll go down and I'll just start eating the random stuff that I used to eat, and it'll be a fiery mess of a situation, and that's that. So we're down. I said I was going to be in my goal weight in a month. I don't know if that's going to happen. I got 3.3 pounds to lose. I think it's a total weight loss of like 71 pounds. I'll put it up top. I can't remember exactly how much I've lost so far, but I think it was like 71 pounds, which is ridiculous. Like every time I see the number of pounds I've lost so far, it doesn't compute. But I'm constantly going through my closet. Just yesterday, I put 3 boxes of clothes that don't fit me into my wife's car to be donated to Goodwill. Like, I'm seeing progress, I'm feeling progress, I'm hearing progress from everybody who's commenting on my weight loss, but it has not really clicked. It hasn't, like, yes, I know I lost weight. Yes, I am running faster. Yes, I feel better. Yes, I am getting more toned. My back is feeling better because I don't have all that extra weight in front. But it's still, every once in a while, I still feel like that fat kid. I don't know how to break that, but I'm not gonna let it break me. I'm gonna continue to do what I'm doing and move forward with this journey. As always, thank you for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. If you like what you see, go ahead and hit that thumbs button. Leave a comment below if there's something that you want me to talk about. Being a dude that loses weight is not the only thing this channel is going to be about. I do have some other videos that I have in mind that I want to get done. I have one in the chamber that I'm actually editing right now. It's in regards to fidgeting. Maybe you've heard of it. But thank you for sticking with me. I hope some of this information was useful. Maybe it's getting you thinking. Whatever it may be, I'm here to help. That being said, as always, thank you for tuning in. I'll see you guys next week. And as always, keep it keto.